How's it going, folks? So look, I'm at it again. I didn't get to do Dolphin Bay the other day, so this sort of just completes all the southern end of Great Barrier Island. Allegedly 2 hours return, or if I go to Ross Bay Lookout, it's 3 hours return. Currently at the moment it's 3:45. It gets dark at 5:45, so I've got my head torch and probably come out under dark. Anyway, let's go and have a look, see what Dolphin Bay walkway looks like, shall we? So it's been a bit of a bittersweet day, really. The intention today was to go fishing out at Aotea, and we got out there, but the tides just weren't quite right to be safe, and so we continued on to have a look at Port Fitzroy, and I'll put some shots of that, and then went through to Orama. What a lovely place that is. You know, we were supposed to go to the graves of the sailors up there, but it was remembered that my daughter had an appointment to get to, so we had to sort of abandon that and shoot back. As a result of that, I've got a couple of hours before sunset and thought I'd squeeze this in because we fly out tomorrow morning. So I had another really vivid dream the other night, and if you've seen the Jewel of Queenstown, where I shared two dreams, and they were a forewarning of what actually started happening the next day. I'm starting to take note of this a little bit more. So here's the dream. So I'm at like a rock concert and a guy's playing, grabs an American flag and climbs to the top of what was either it looked to me to be a telephone pole. That's my history. Gets to the top, gets this American flag and puts it out across his shoulders like the athletes do at the Olympic Games and things, and then he just leaps off to his death. End of dream. So today in Orama, there's somebody camped there and they are flying an American flag. So I said to my wife just before I came away today, I said, just keep an eye on me, because these jolly dreams keep coming true, and I've seen an American flag today and the end result of that was death, so or falling from a high point. So anyway, got my PLB today. I mean, I should be absolutely fine, but you just never know. So watch this space. Hopefully I finish this video tonight. Of course I will, I hope. Anyway, we're going through a lovely Manuka tea tree type grove at the moment. I'll swing around and show you. I'm coming up on the intersection. This goes off to Dolphin Bay and this goes off to Ross Bay. So 45 minutes, an hour and a half back, and 15 minutes, so 30 minutes back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the longest route first, so 45 minutes or an hour and a half to get back. Yeah, so let's get this done. We're at Golden Hour at the moment. Look at that lovely light just dappling through the trees. So beautiful. These things up here are a form of lily. They're actually known as widow makers. So basically, if they let go, honestly, the weight of those, if it fell on top of you, name suggests, it makes you a widow makers. Yeah, don't camp underneath those lilies. Ross Bay, 20 minutes. Dolphin Bay. Now 15. Well, that can't be right. It's just over half an hour. So yeah, maybe I am moving quicker than normal. Oh, we're dropping down real quick. This would be really fun if it was wet. What's it say? Oh, we must be here. Must be Ross Bay. Beautiful. Oh mate, see why you come down here to fish. Tell you what, that's not a cakewalk. There must be an easier way to get down than that. Oh yeah, this is a great fishing spot. Got a bit of seaweed going on. Not too sure where the bay is though. Oh, unless we're supposed to be going over there, I can almost see a tent. I wonder if the track goes along there. Maybe I've come down too quick. This doesn't really feel like a public walkway down to there. Maybe I have come down too quick. It looks a bit like a track. I think these are just fishermen's tracks. I'm going to head back because daylight's not for my friend this afternoon. It could be Ross Bay over there. There's a track coming straight down here, but it would be my guess that this is just the tracks that the fishermen take. There's some kind of structure up here. Looks like a house and a telephone pole. Looked to me to be a telephone pole. Oh dear, here's my telephone pole. I really do need to be a little bit cautious of heights this afternoon. Okay, I'm going back up the main track, and then if there's something a little bit more obvious to get down to Ross, we'll take that rather than going down this obscure track. And if I've got enough time, I'm going to head down to Dolphin. Let's head on back now, shall we? Oh, that's a bit of a shame. So may or may not have actually got to Ross Bay. I'll need to look that up. So look, I'm not spooked. I'm just a little bit wary or mindful, if you like, after having that dream. You know, so far we've listened to some rock music on the radio today. As we travelled at Arama, I saw the American flag. Down there I saw that telephone pole just on its own, and as I picked up the keys to Jason's truck, his steel string guitar was just sort of sitting there staring at me. So if it wasn't so late, it's 5 o'clock now, I would have gone along that shoreline track, but it would have meant that I was really pushing it to come back and even go down to Dolphin Bay. So yeah, just being a little bit cautious. And let's head off to the other bay now before we lose light in 45 minutes. You know what they say about coming down, you got to go back up again. So it's actually about 120 meters down to the bay. Just curiosity, now I know they thought that the Japanese were going to come onto Great Barrier Island and use it as a staging post, so maybe this is what they created as a barrier to stop the tanks coming up this ridge line. Yes, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek, but they've actually built 2 concrete structures on a road called Old Mountain Road in Raglan. of Waikato for that exact purpose. So the tanks couldn't come past that point, but yeah, just tongue in cheek. Here's that sign again. So this is where I've just come from. But there is actually a track down through there. And that would make more sense to get to that stony bay. 176, that's the highest point on this track. And we're just coming down now to the intersection of Dolphin Bay. Let's just see how accurate, shall we, this navigator is in terms of the intersection, which is right here. Can you see that? This is how good these Topo 50 apps are. Dolphin Bay is 15 minutes. Currently we're 5:15. Let's go and have a look at Dolphin Bay now, shall we? It wouldn't be Great Barrier if it didn't have steps. I think this is probably more popular of the two. Maybe because it's the shortest between Ross and Dolphin. Well, here we are, folks. We're at Dolphin Bay, and true to their word, that was just about 15 minutes from that intersection. So clearly all bays don't need to have sand, because this is about as rocky as it gets. Anyway, it is 5:30, sunset at 5:40. So I'll just get some water into me and we'll be on the way. But this is a beautiful little bay, well worth doing, and we've got another hour to get back, so I better get going because that will make it 6:30, and the pink hues are just starting to come out. How lovely is this, eh? Nobody around, and I really could live here. If anybody out there want to give me a full-time job at Great Barrier Island? Anyway, this is lovely. This is living life. Alrighty then, so we've just come up from Dolphin Bay. It's currently 6 o'clock and she's dark. So get out to Cape Barrier Road is another 45 minutes, and as you see, I've got to head towards. Hey, look, if you want to see more of the Great Barrier Island, then go and see that video. So it's almost 6:30. It was 10 to 4 when I started. So what's that? 40. So 2 hours 50 thereabouts. So yeah, this is tramping track to Ross Bay Lookout, 3 hours, but I've been able to go down to Ross Lookout and then down to Dolphin and back. Alright, so this is where I'm going to finish off now. So truly this time, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your likes, your comments and your subscription, and we'll catch you on the next adventure, hopefully real soon.